Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
And I am Mike.
And today, Subscriber Sample Saturday. So Subscriber Sample Saturday today is brought to you by Papa G.
Thank you, Papa G.
Thank you, Papa G, for this. This happens to be sample 2 when he sent this in. So the last time he sent some in, he sent in, I remember him writing something to the effect, and don't get me wrong, I talked to so many people, but I do believe this was, he sent in the Russells with the last time, and he said this is something he's been drinking on, and he really liked it. So he sent this in as a sample, a blind sample with a key. So kind of curious to see what this might be.
They're always fun.
They are always fun. Challenging, but always fun.
Good word, challenging.
It is. Well, it is. You know what I mean? We always know we can re-up when we do the ones in the bucket and stuff. These, you got to try to guess all the things.
Part,
you know what I mean?
That part definitely
makes it, not to mention, I mean, it can't be any more blind than this because we certainly have no clue what it's in.
How'd you miss a glass with that?
I don't know. You know why? Because I think I shook it right at the end and it went bloop. Look at me. I missed it all over the place. I don't know. I don't have my glasses on. How's that? Can I blame that?
Yeah, you can
Did
try.
I miss mine too? I don't know. All right. So those of you that might be new Subscriber Sample Saturday, you guys are awesome subscribers. Send us in a sample. We try to guess type. We try to guess price. We try to guess proof. We try to guess whether it's finished or not. I think we're 0 for 95 on the finished ones. And then we'll ultimately grade it before we even know what this is. So, you know, it's 100% whatever the whiskey is in the glass. It does not have a bad nose at all. Actually, it is very nice.
It's a very predominant nose.
Yep.
For coming out of such a little small sample.
Right.
I can see why he's probably enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't smell like something I want to put back down. if you want to go there, right?
Which, thank all of you, we have not really had anyone send us one of those.
Mm-mm. Got a little something to her. That's my first sip of the day. It's got a little hanging on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't hate any part of
I was going to say, in a very good way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's not just proof hanging on either. And it actually wasn't even that proofy. But there was a generous, that was just my first sip, though. I don't want to get too excited about it. But it coated pretty good.
It's coated pretty good. I would think we're on a pretty good high rye in this one.
I'm not getting the fire of the Pop Rocks, but I took a baby sip on that one anyways.
Right. I
wasn't sure where we were
going
to go.
Crazy. I don't know if we were probably around 100 for the first sip.
I don't know about that. I think it's more than
that. It didn't hit me in the throat.
No, because on the nose now that I've taken a sip.
I went right back at it.
Did it say Buffalo Trace when you went back at it?
I didn't really nose it that much. I just went for a taste.
Did the taste say Buffalo Trace? Because it was a generous flavor. I think I'm getting a hint of like a fruity butterscotch on this one. On the nose right now, like coming back as my second sip. It was fruity when I first started, but I wasn't 100% sure where I was going with that. But I could almost mistake this. Sorry, I'm getting bonked under the table. Don't hit the microphone. This is very good, whatever this is.
It is very good.
I got to go with that. I'm liking this a lot.
Man, I could go with a... I don't know if it's really getting the butterscotch, but I am getting a light fruit.
I'm getting the fruit, for sure. And I'm getting... it's almost more of a fruity caramel than a butterscotch today. But it's what popped into my head when I was getting that smell of the fruit. I'm like, this could be I mean, we mistaked the Weller Foolproof last time because we didn't think it was proofy, and I thought it was a Blanton's. But I think I could almost mistake this on first, second sip for something like that. I don't want to lock in like a dope, but it's almost drinking that proof to me also. Like, I think it's like a 114 proof, what that Weller Foolproof is.
Was it 114 or is that 120?
I'm guessing. I want to say 114, but...
I am getting a fruity nose. Yeah. Now that you said it,
yeah,
it didn't jump out in the beginning,
right?
Other than it was a very good nose.
That's why I hate like when my brain locks into something stupid, then I want to get away from it, but then I start confirming it with what I get, and it could be just all subliminal at that point. So I was trying not to implant it in your head, but I ran my mouth anyway, so that's how it works. So I can't always filter it, so, but it really is bringing me in the Buffalo Trace era, like in that land somehow. But it's bringing, I want to say, because it's not drinking hot at all, but the amount of flavor and the length of time that it hangs, I could see it being in like the 1 teen. So I could almost say like if this was like a Weller Food Proof. Because I'm not getting the pop rocky, like you said, but there is like that, it coats very well. It's very viscous and it stays in your mouth for a while.
It does hit though a little bit, but it doesn't settle in my throat.
Mm-mm. That's why I say it drinks with a higher proof, but it doesn't drink hot at all. And it's not really giving me a hug. Would you sit still or go play with your Gumby?
It's not really, it's not sticking in my throat. It does kind of light up your tongue a little for a sparkle, but
yeah,
not
there
really
is a
getting
little pop rock.
butterscotch,
It's more on the sides of my tongue, which is a weird thing. It's not really on the top as much, and I swish it around, but it's hanging more on the sides. It's not bringing, say, like an apricot fruit, which would bring me to a rye.
No, I would venture to say this has a decent amount of rye in it. I'm not getting any mint.
Not if it's a Weller Food Proof, because that has no rye in it. That's a weirder, but it could be another version. I really get like a Buffalo Trace vibe. If this ain't a Buffalo Trace, I'll be shocked and I want it. You know what I mean? Not that I don't want the Buffalo Trace. You know what I mean? But it's really bringing that flavor profile to me. The nose is getting stronger as we keep drinking. I will say that.
Still not really getting a butterscotch, but I am getting a fruit.
It's more like a fruit in the front with a caramel. Not so much a butterscotch, but it's bringing like a nice little caramel. Not a huge oaky presence at the end, but really has a ton of flavor. It has a decent viscosity, so it actually lasts in your mouth for a while. Man, with that fruit, could it be just a finished bourbon that's bringing me the fruit? That's my dilemma. If it's a Weller, then it's not finished. Because I don't even know if they have a finished one, to be honest with you. But if it's not a Buffalo Trace, let's put it that way, then I would lean towards finished because it's bringing such a fruity front that it almost tastes, but it doesn't have an oaky presence, which a lot of times when it's finishing like a sherry barrel or something, you might get the fruit, but you also get like that heavier oak flavor at the end, and I'm not getting any of that. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm going to say it is finished, and I'm going to say
I'll go opposite.
I think I'm only at like 100 proof.
Okay. Okay, so I'm saying bourbon. I'm going to say not finished. I'm going to say 114 because I think it's up there. I think it has a little bit more on there. It's drinking lower, like I would probably want to say in the 108s or 107s, but I think it lasts a little bit longer, and it's slightly getting into like here in my throat.
Yeah, see, it's not hitting me there, so maybe I'm off today, but
it could be me too. But
what's the other thing? Grade. I could be like a A- on this.
And price, I agree. Man, I can almost bump this to an A. Like I'm in that realm. Price rise. God, if it is a Weller, it could be anything. But this is drinking. I don't drink it's drinking as hot as like say the Larceny and the Elijah's. So I would like it in that say $69.99 or under range because that's where Larceny and Elijah kind of land. Do you know what I mean? Would I be upset at the 100 mark where Booker's is? No, because I think it's in the same ballpark. And if it is a Weller, sometimes they're marked up to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and if it isn't.
MSRP, though, if it stayed around 69, I think I'd be happy, price-wise.
I'd probably go as high as 79 and be content. Because if it is only 100 proof,
I don't think
we'd
it
have
is.
it. There's my ifs.
No, I get you.
And then go from there. I think we hit everything because otherwise I'm winding down.
Well, we keep these short because Mike runs out. That's it. Thank you.
I can't go much
Thank you,
smaller.
Papa G, with this one.
Thank all of
Anyways,
you,
'cause
and
this
thank
is
you
actually
especially
very
today for
delicious,
Papa
whatever
G.
this might be. So, well, at least I'm right at one part of this, anyways.
The proof?
No, not the proof. Not at all. This is drink is soft compared to the proof. It is not at your 100. This would be at 131.4 proof. So this is a Blanton straight from the barrel. He paid $154 for it.
I almost mentioned that, too.
It was at 131. I would have never went that high, though.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I know, because I was pushing the 114. It's 131.4 proof. This was dumped on June 8th, 2023. Warehouse H, Rick House 27. And just for fun, all right, because ours was 127.
I was gonna say,
we're going to have to go back. Mike's gone back to this one. He actually likes this one. We really haven't once. No, but I don't drink this one. I haven't taken this since we cracked it. I remember when we cracked this. This was hot. He's full of shit because there's only that much left. I remember when we cracked this. This is also Warehouse H, Rick House number 74. This was hot though. It settled down afterwards.
It was pretty warm.
But when we drank this, I was like, wow, this is just hot to be hot. I may actually use this bottle as a thing, even though it's not his official bottle, just as the thumbnail because it'll be easier to do. But man, I can see A, why you're drinking this. And B, I didn't even think that. I actually grabbed this so I could see what we paid.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah, we paid $179. So you actually, at the $154 was actually a decent price.
Yeah.
We paid $179.99 when we got that. And
and if it came up again, I would get another one.
These are very good. Yours doesn't drink anywhere near as hot as what that one drank. And it's hotter in proof. But this drank, like I kept saying, it drinks like 108.
It didn't,
but
maybe because I had to do so little of sips.
I don't know. I actually said it was barely settling in the top of my neck. I didn't get a hug. But like you said, we got to babysit this one. But this is absolutely delicious.
It is very, very
you know,
good.
I don't remember enjoying that one as much. I really haven't gone back to that at all.
I did enjoy that one.
No, I could tell, but we no, honestly, not that it matters, but we're gonna have to put that back in something just for fun. Just
one of the few that we spent that kind of money in. Actually, I thought it was.
It's definitely but I'm at least happy that I pulled out that I just can't go that high in proof. That was the same thing when I did the Weller foolproof that on the Mystery Mash Monday when Tammy picked it. I didn't even think that was anywhere near that proof. I thought it was
I think I was closer on that than this, but.
Yeah, we were both. Yeah, but it doesn't drink. It doesn't drink that heat. This was my first sip of the day, and at 131 proof, this is soft as silk. Like it just barely popped rocked on the side of my tongue. You know what I mean?
So, it did sparkle on my tongue, I guess. But I kept saying that maybe it's a higher rye. But
yeah, and I don't know I forget what Blanton's actual mash bill is. But thank you again for sending this in.
Yes,
I can see why you're enjoying this one. At that proof, at that price, it's just you can just get this one in.
And thanks for giving it up.
Yeah,
it's a pricey bottle.
I could get this one right in me. That's the thing. You know what I mean? This would be one of the...
But I'd be looking at it and going, yeah, this is a one-time pour for me, today, and go to something else.
Well, but they go. You know what I mean?
It does go.
It goes. I don't remember if this one was one of the ones that was in a 700 or 750.
That is
750 milliliter. Okay, because I remember I think it's the gold one, because the gold one goes overseas.
I think it is.
That it is in a 700 milliliter. So, well, there you go. That's Subscriber Sample Saturday. Again, Papa G, thank you so much for sending this in. And I can 100% see why you're enjoying this one, because there's nothing not to enjoy about it. So, there you go.
And he sent it off a while. It's probably empty by now.
No, exactly. No, we've had that one over there. I try to rotate the people that are nice enough to send them in. I try to give everyone their props on and keep it in a rotation. But there you go. That's Subscriber Sample Saturday. That's our review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.